to you about shadow calls real quick. While I've got one on the screen, I wanted to just show you this is the number one that you're wanting to look at. You're looking for those 10 orange books, which will be a level 5 mission, and it'll be those orange colors right there. So remember that when we're talking about that later, okay? So you can find shadow call missions here in the lantern. That pulls up our regular events, right? We come in here to shadow calls. We're not going to talk about the personal missions. We'll do that later. We want to talk about ally missions. You'll notice right now that Shelly's got those rewards to help her for the orange skill books. Those are your prime ones that you want to be targeting because they got food and the skill books, and they come with the 5 shadow chests. Those shadow chests are pretty awesome with the stuff that they can reward. You'll notice that when we get up here, they've got some pretty awesome stuff that you guys want. That 5k rubies is pretty nice. So when we're looking at these, those are the ones that we want to target. The next ones we want to target are the ones with the resources, right? We don't really care for this row right here with just the shadow boxes or the shadow chests and the food, because if we scroll over here on our resources, look at that. The food matches the same amount of food. So avoid these ones if you can. If that's all you got, that's all you got. But we want to go for books first, and we want to go for resources first. I see a lot of people forgetting to do these. That's why we've got a lot of missions that are kind of left over here. So make sure we're coming in here and assisting our allies. It's free resources. It doesn't actually help the allies, and it doesn't harm them either. So you're not actually taking these resources from Shelly. So I don't if that helps you be at peace of mind trying to take these things. So the other part is the plundering others resources, right? We just saw this other one out here that we really would like to get. And then this is the ones that we want, right? The ones with the orange skill books. They come with food, and they come with shadow chests. You'll notice this one comes with 12. That is the top of the line box that you can get right now. So I don't ever send the emotes. It's kind of ridiculous. So I just always tap out of that. But there's a couple neat little tricks when we're looking around for these boxes. I don't know how people are doing it, but the easiest way for me is I scroll out. And you'll notice that we see all the different missions. We see the bases. If we keep scrolling out, we only get to the bases, right? This is kind of how I will start to target them. Like, so right now, this alliance, right, is MD, right? Let's come over here and pick on somebody that we want to pick on. Let's go pick on TBC. I know where they're at over here. So we'll come over here to TBC, and you'll see that their base is here, right? So if we zoom in, there's TBC. The other thing we can do is we can push and hold on an open space here, push and hold, and then we can come up and set ourselves a marker, right? And we can say that these are special, or we could say enemies. Well, we could just label this as TBC dash base, right? So we'll get that set up, and then that way when we're zooming around later on the map, we can easily find them even if we're zoomed all the way out. So we can just zoom back into their base, right? And then if you notice, certain things appear at certain times, right? So I like to zoom in just enough right about there where those resources pop up for those shadow call missions, right? So you'll notice you can see all the different ones, and we got quite a bit of room to be able to zoom around and hop around and look for some orange ones. It's late in the day, so there's probably not going to be too many left, but this allows us to be able to kind of scroll around and look for those resources. So like right now we just found an orange, right? So we can zoom in, we can click on them. These are the ones we want to avoid with just the boxes and the shadow calls and the food. Just the same with those plundering resources. There's the same way. You want to look for skill boxes or skill books. You want to look for the resources because those also have the food. And then these are our last ditch effort, right? You'll notice that the rewards go down. So like that orange 5 that we had earlier had 10 resources. The orange 5 or the purple 5s only have 5 resource books. The 4 will only have 4. The 3 will only have 2. So for oranges, if you find a level 4 orange with skill books, those will actually have 9. So I don't know how they did the calculations on it, but definitely try to target those orange ones first. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. That's how I make sure I get these done every day. You can set those hot waypoints so that when you zoom out, you can see those other bases like TBC over here. And then don't forget to check on them periodically because people do move their bases depending on the events. So hope this helps you guys.